Yeah. Twins pod.
You've always polled really well,
Yeah.
and like I said earlier, you're political royalty. Why do you think the Democrat Party didn't embrace your run for president?
I think they didn't embrace me the same reason that they didn't embrace Bernie,
Mm-hmm.
because the Democratic Party has been taken over by its corporate funders, by BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, by the military contractors, Northrop Grumman, General Dynamics, Raytheon, Boeing, Lockheed, the big pharmaceutical companies which now fund the party.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an existential threat to those interests.
Right, exactly.
So you,
I think Bernie was too, to the big Wall Street interests, particularly that call the shots now at the Democratic Party, and I think that was I think they would have rather lost the election than have Bernie Sanders as the standard bearer, and I think the same is with me, because they'd lose their funding, they'd lose their loyalty from those corporate patrons.
so you actually saying to us today that big corporations actually determines who's going to run for president, not the people, not their constituents.
I think that actually is a way of saying it that I think is accurate, because I don't think it's directly. I mean, I don't think the board of Raytheon says this is the guy we want. I think there's a system in place that makes sure that people that they don't want do not get on the ballot.
Yeah, they've always portrayed. Well, they portray Trump as a threat to democracy.
Is
But
that
even though
hyperbole?
yeah, I mean, I want to ask them, like, they literally kept you from running for president. The Democrats did.
Well, they did keep me from running on their ticket.
I mean, they say
So-
Trump's a threat to democracy. It sounds like they're being hypocrites.
And they're trying to stop me from running now because they're trying to block me from getting on the ballots. And then, I think part of the strategy of denying me Secret Service protection is to keep me from running a viable campaign, because, I have to pay for security. We've had a number of very, very realistic threats, plausible threats. And so one out of every $3 that we raise goes to security.
Right.
And that's money that can't be spent on ballot access. It can't be spent on advertising. And,
right.
it's a way of crippling my campaign. When my uncle ran, President Carter, who didn't like him, they really didn't like each other. They had a
Really?
loathing for each other. But President Carter gave my uncle Teddy Secret Service protection. This is in 1980, 550 days out. So even before he announced, just because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm the first candidate in history that has requested Secret Service protection and been denied it. Since my father was killed, but prior to my father was not entitled to Secret Service protection. Because prior to 1968, you only got Secret Service protection when you were the nominee of the party. So nobody got it during the primary season except for the president himself. And then when my dad died, they immediately changed that law, and they gave it to everybody who was running that year. They gave it to George Wallace, they gave it to Humphrey, they gave it to McCarthy, and they gave it to everybody on the Republican side, to Nixon. And ever since then, they've given it to anybody who requested it. They're required to give it to you 120 days out. But they've given it to over 30 people. They gave it to Barack. They gave it to Jesse Jackson. They gave it to, Trump gave it to Biden. Biden gave it to Trump early.
There's been a lot of first over the last several years. Trump's been first president to be indicted, be impeached twice, and now it seems like they betrayed you and your family, because your family has given a lot to our society, presidents, politicians, and then you want to. I'm assuming you're running for president because you think you could do a better job than Biden. For them to not put you on the ballot, not even give you the opportunity to run against Biden, I just look at that as a
Makes
a
them
betrayal.
hypocrites. Yeah. And a betrayal.
Yeah.
of you, the
Well, I mean, it's
country, and
just,
every.
I don't like to complain about my situation, but
Right.
what I would say is it's not good for the Democratic Party. It's not good optics for the country. We're supposed to be the exemplary democracy,
Right.
on earth. You guys went and served our country, and because you're proud of our country as the world's exemplary democracy, and we're supposed to be modeling how the rest of the world does it. When we became a democracy in 1780, we were the only democracy in the world. And by the Civil War, by 1860, there were 6, and they were all modeled on us. And by the mid-1960s, there were 190, all modeled on us.
Right.
And so, we really were the exemplar. We were the template for the role model for the rest of the world.
Right.
And people looked at our institutions, our courts, our regulatory agencies. Like most of the countries in the world, most of the new countries in Africa and Asia, they didn't have a scientific agency like NIH or a health regulatory agency like FDA. And a lot of them, for their constitutions, they just say whatever FDA says, if FDA approves a drug, it's approved in this country.
Right. Yeah.
So, we were really the institutions of our democracy. Everybody looked to us about how do you run a democracy? How do you create it? How do you build it? And, now we're showing people how to sabotage it. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this world would be a lot different place if the United States was never established. I mean, Germany would probably be in power, and now for us to betray what this country stood for, we're just going in the wrong direction. Like you brought up BlackRock, like the middle class is all but gone in this country, and I think kids that are born today, they'll never be able to buy a house,
No.
never, right? But I see BlackRock buying up all these homes. What do you think their end game is?
I think it happened to me before you answer. I'm renting a home out here, and been there 2 years, but then the owner said he wanted to sell the house. We sell the house, we move out, and it's been almost 3 years. Nobody lives in the house. I'm like, why?
And they sold it.
Why did someone buy the house and nobody's living in it?
Yeah, that's happening all over the place. The other thing that people see is that when they go to buy a house, they're about to buy a house, they're about to go into escrow, sign a contract, and at the last minute, somebody comes in with a cash offer, 20% over the asking price, and snatches the house from under them, and then you do some research, like who bought this house that was, my house. You're already thinking this is my house.
Right.
And if you find that it's an LLC with this kind of ambiguous name.
Yeah, it used to say the LLC, now they removed it.
Yeah, and then you look behind who's behind that, and it's these big investment houses. Like BlackRock doesn't actually buy itself single-family homes, but it owns Blackstone, and Blackstone is buying the single-family homes of Fidelity, State Street, Vanguard, and they're now about 30% of the homes that were purchased in this country last year were purchased by these big investment houses, and they're on track to own about 60% of the single-family homes in our country by 2030.
What do you think their end game is?
I think they want to turn us into a nation of renters. They want to own everything. They said it. The head of BlackRock, Larry Fink, is on the board of the World Economic Forum in Davos. And the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab said, our agenda is what they call the Great Reset. And when he was asked, what does the Great Reset mean? He said, it means that you will own nothing, but you will be happy. So,
holy shit!
I think
there's a lot of people that don't own anything; they're still not happy. Why is that going to?
I don't think that they really want to make us happy. I just think they're saying we're going to be happy. Don't worry about it. We're going to be happy, but we're going to own everything. They're going to own everything, and we'll own nothing. And I think, but when you turn America into a nation of renters, when we go from being a nation of owners to being a nation of renters, we go from being citizens to being subjects.
Sounds like they're using capitalism to turn us into a socialist country.
Yeah.
Because who's going to own all these houses? It's going to be owned by these
I wouldn't say
corporations.
it's socialist. I would say it's it's a feudal, aristocracy, a corporate kleptocracy,
Okay.
with the rest of us working for them, or on some kind of, I mean, now they're going to control AI, and AI, when that happens, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, and then what do you do?
Yeah.
There's, I mean, what Elon Musk said. He said that AI it's going to take our jobs first, and then it's going to kill us. I was talking to somebody yesterday who was talking about accountants, that CPAs in this country, and they now have an AI program that has the entire tax code in it.
Right.
So you're going to be able to just show your financial information to the AI, and AI will tell you how to take all the tax breaks that that are available, and they'll be able to do it better than any CPA.
Yeah.
Or put all the CPAs out of business.
That's crazy, man. They're gonna turn everybody into hookers and pimps.
Exactly. That's the only thing that you're going to be able to do.
Yeah.
And there's certain jobs. The only job when we used to think that AI was going to take the jobs, the sort of the blue collar jobs,
Right.
but the lawyers and the accountants, the artists would be safe. And what they're finding now, what we're seeing now, is that those are the people whose jobs are being, are the first to go. The artists. I mean, my wife just, got off a strike. She's an actress. And one of the big issues in that strike was AI, that they can just take her image and they can create a film from it, and it's scary.
This is my first time hearing all this. Yeah. I knew it was a big issue, but I didn't know it would go that deep.
Yeah. Oh, the jobs that they can't take are the trades, because if you need
Manual labor.
right? If your toilet cracks. You need a guy to come over and fix it. The AI can't do that. He can't, the electricians, the carpenters. They
Just give him time, I guess.
What?
Yeah, you seen that movie, I, Robot, right? They was chopping and making food, drawing pictures. That was all in the movie. We got an important announcement for y'all. A damn important announcement. Sure do. The value of the American dollar is getting weaker and weaker. And don't believe Biden and his lying media. He's a liar. When he tell you there's no inflation. Inflation's going crazy. Look, you see it all around you. You got grocery bills, real estate market, gas prices, everything's going up. Everything going up. Yeah, it's because the strength of our dollar is going down. Just like y'all, we've been trying to find different places to put our money, keep it secure, because every day the Fed is printing money. Yeah, like non-stop. Like it's monopoly money. And of course, mainstream news outlets, they ain't gonna talk about it. Yeah, they're not gonna cover it. So we go to Dr. Kurt Elliott for all our economy updates. That's a damn good white man. Damn good white man. That's a damn good white man. And he's smart too. Yeah, he is. Dr. Kurt Elliott is a precious metals expert and has been working in the gold and silver market for over 20 years. That's a long time. Yes. 20 years? Yeah, that's why we partnered with Dr. Kurt. Go to Hodgetwinsgold.com. Signing up is totally free, and Dr. Kurt's team of advisors will listen to all your concerns you may have about your economic future, talk you through the right plan that especially fits your needs. Go to Hodgetwinsgold.com. It's not our gold. It's just our website. Go to Hodgetwinsgold.com right now and secure your economic future today for you and your family. Man, I wish I had me some gold in my basement. Yeah.